Hey, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of exploring the historical differences between old school RuneScape and RuneScape in 2004. If you're new to the series, then please check out the playlist in the description and at least watch episode 1 because it'll answer every question that a new viewer would have. But in the last video, I really got into training Fletching for the first time, and I got all the way, I was basically at the start, I had level 10. I made it from level 10 all the way up to level 70, which is the level required to be able to fletch yew longbows. I fletched about 17k willow longbows to get to this point, and I was doing it in tandem with thieving. If you want to see the method, well, I'll be doing it more this video, or you can check out the last video for more in-depth info. I just finished uploading and scheduling the previous video, so I am all ready to play the game, and my goal for this video is to become a millionaire. Now, in terms of paper value or bank value, I technically have been a millionaire for a while because I could have theoretically liquidated my items to get to 1 mil GP, but I've never had a cash stack of 1 mil. Ooh, a genie. Thank you. So the biggest cash stack I've had on the account was about 500k, and that was while we were stuck in free-to-play. From there, I bought a bunch of supplies, and by the time members came out, my cash stack was 100k or even lower, and from there, I've just been buying more and more small things like feathers and stuff like that, to the point where my cash stack was at 25k. Up until the last video when I started doing the thieving, I got up to level 74 thieving, and my cash stack from thieving Ardougne is now up to the highest it's ever been. It is now at 600k. So I'm really not even too far off 1 mil GP from this point. But what I want to do, because I got 70 fletching last video, naturally it only makes sense to finally use up these yew logs. I've never bought or sold any yews. These are all the yews that I chopped while in free to play, and I was saving them for members to be able to use them myself for fletching. Wait, before we get started, we gotta take a look at the high scores. I always like to show this at the start and end of the videos. I'm currently overall rank 36. Well, I guess I'll be doing thieving and fletching, so the thieving rank is 35. And the fletching rank is 160. Let's make the first yew longbow. We'll double check the XP because in osrs it's 75 fletching XP. Currently 141. Yew longbow. Yes, yeah, that's 75 XP, so it's the same as osrs. Cool, let's begin. We're here in Ardougne, and I'll be doing the same method I was doing last video, thieving the Ardougne, and whenever I get stunned, that's when I do my fletching. Usually, if I'm paying attention, I'll get 4. You could get 5, but on average, I'll get 4 bows made whenever I get stunned. The reason why this method works so well, or why this is even a method that's viable to do right now, is because where we're currently at in May of 2004, the stun timer for thieving is really long, but there's an update on June 2nd, 2004 that reduced the amount of time you get stunned for when thieving. And I believe that cuts it in half. So it's gonna be a pretty big change when it's coming up, but that is not in the game and we don't know when it's gonna come into the game. So it would be inefficient to just train thieving alone right now, but if you're doing fletching or alching or something in between, then I'd say it's not really inefficient. I find it so interesting that because we know what the future updates are gonna be, that affects the routes that people are taking and the methods that they do. And this is a perfect example of that. Oh, I just got 75 thieving. Yeah. Dude, I was watching the level for so long, and now when I'm actually getting it, of course, I skipped right through it. And here is the fletching level. There's 71. With the willow longbows, I was getting 41.5 XP each, whereas these are 75, so almost double the amount of XP. And the really nice thing about cutting yew logs is if you take a look at the marketplace, let's say you want to insta-buy them, there's a lot of people selling them for 300 GP each. So we could say like the base price for yew logs is 300 GP. Now if we take a look at yew longbows unstrung, people are buying them for... There's not too many buy offers, but I mean, you can see there's one from 6 minutes ago buying a lot of them for 320 GP each. So it is profitable to cut yew longbows. And I mean, like, eventually, if you wait long enough, there will be people buying it. You're going to at least break even, if not profit a little bit. So I'm making GP from thieving the Ardougne, while also making even more GP in the downtime, the stun time, from cutting the logs. It's been about 3 hours of thieving nights, and that was the last of the yew logs. Well, there's still a little bit left, but not enough for even a full inventory. So let's take a look at what I got in these 3 hours. I got about 80k GP, and of course there's all of the unstrung yew longbows. Next question is, we got to look at the marketplace and see whether or not it's worth it, or if you profit or break even if you buy the bowstrings, make the complete bows, and then sell the bows. I always like to take the worst case scenario. So in this case, we'll say that we're buying the unstrung yew bows. That would be 350 GP each. And how much are bowstrings selling for? 285 each. We got 285 plus 350, 635 GP would be the cost to buy the supplies to make the bow. So let's see if the yew longbow is more or less than 635. I could sell the yew bow for 600 to 650, so it could probably about break even. Realistically, should be able to profit a little bit, and this is taking the worst case scenario, especially because I cut the logs myself. Obviously I am going to profit. And either way, I haven't strung bows, or at least not in bulk, and I want to see what that's like to string bows. I did pick one inventory of flax, like half an inventory of flax on day 1 of members, and made it into bowstring, but I haven't done anything with it in bulk. I'm on World 2 right now. If you didn't know, World 2 is like the World 1 of members. And all the trading I've done on World 2 or World 1 in free-to-play has been at Varrock West, but I want to see if people are buying and selling fletching supplies in Camelot or in Sears Village like they did back in the day. There's not too many white dots there. It looks like it's kind of late right now, and there's someone. Might have better luck at Varrock West. I was hoping there'd be a bunch of people here, but at least we see one. Bro is absolutely folded with no pressure, selling flax 120 each, selling flax 100 each. I cannot have said it better myself. Wait, 100 GP is actually a good price. People are selling it for like 150. This is why it's important to know the market prices of items, because especially offhand without having to look it up. Because if you know these prices, you can be quick to scoop up these fast deals and go for a quick flip, quick merch, or to save for yourself to use later on at some point if you think you might eventually use that item or those items. I found someone who's selling it on the marketplace for 280, and I think 280 is a pretty good price, so I'll try to just stand here and see if anyone's selling. Maybe some people are running back and forth to the spinning wheel. Here's one offer coming in, 31,360. We got another 307 coming in. I just started spamming here for a couple minutes, and all these offers started coming in. This is great. There's another 758 bowstring. I ended up with about 1,200, so still a little bit short, but if I'm making the bows here, then maybe some more people will come through trying to sell it while I'm making the bows. But okay, first off, I gotta move this all the way up, and I have to find it, then move it up in the bank to the top. There we go. All right, first time making these. I assume I'm gonna do that. I could fill up the rest of the inventory with that. Move one to the bottom. Yes, oh my gosh. And this should be 75 XP as well. Let's see, 216. Yeah, that's 75 XP. And because there's no interface that pops up, that means you can get such fast fletching XP doing that. This is, oh, wait, okay, wait. The trick here, so I don't have to type in 14 every time, is to keep these in my inventory. Withdraw, deposit, withdraw. Yeah, dude, and then we go back and forth. Or, what I like to do, I'm a double clicker. Some people are one click on each side, but I'm a double clicker. Another personal preference thing is I like to put it right here rather than next to it, because I prefer the up and down motion versus the side to side motion. No, of course I skipped through it. Now, again, I was watching it for so long and I got distracted because I just got a swarm and I went back down. I did 3 more and I got the level. But there's 72 fletching. Also wanted to mention that just like with cutting the logs, there's also no animation for the bowstring or attaching the bowstring to the unstrung bows either. I'm very glad I picked up those extra lockpicks because someone said they're buying a lockpick for 5k. Oh, we got another big one coming in. This guy said selling bowstring 275 and there's 610. Okay, now I am set for the rest of my yew longbows. This seems very old schooly. I love seeing people standing around in World 2, alching together, showing off their fashionscape. Well, maybe not fashionscape in this case, but standing together, alching and socializing is very cute. Oh my god, selling 1k bowstring, 250 each. I don't have the funds to afford. No, I should have just waited. 73 fletching. I 100% would have skipped right through that, but it just happened to be the last bow of the inventory, so that kind of worked out. And I am all done with the yew longbows. This probably took me maybe like 45 minutes. I was thinking like this really is like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like an adventure sandbox game. If you want to max out a skill in osrs, there's no socializing. You just stand at the GE and you have your buy and sell offers. As soon as you finish your supplies, you sell them and buy more supplies to skill with. But in this case, it's like you can do your activity for an hour, but because no one has that much GP, you could only buy enough supplies to last you for maybe an hour or 30 minutes, or maybe there's not even people selling the stuff. maybe you're buying the supplies as you're going and people meet up with you as you're working on your skill. It's so different from osrs and from the GE existing. It really changes the game a lot. I don't know what you'd call it, like an economy based game. I mean, the prices are constantly fluctuating. There's no guarantee that you're going to be able to buy or sell items for the same price that you literally just bought or sold an item for. It's so hard to put into words what I'm trying to describe. Like, imagine, it like really changes how you look at efficiency. Like in osrs, you know that I'm going to get like, say, 150k fletching XP per hour. It's going to take me X amount of hours to reach my goal or to reach level 99. In this game, it's like, I'm going to buy the supplies to get 75k fletching XP. Cool, I have like 100k fletching XP worth of supplies. I'm going to work on that, and then tomorrow I'm going to go for like 50k fletching XP and try to buy the supplies for that. You know what I mean? It really changes how you look at efficiency. Here we go. I'm looking at the marketplace. People are selling yew longbows for 670 to 690. People are buying them for, oh, there's one for 650, although they're probably not online. I'm gonna try to sell it for 650, see if anyone here. Otherwise, I don't know, we'll see if anyone's gonna buy them. Wait, really buying 1k air runes, 31k? Hold on. No way. Yeah. I'm rich again. I very quickly, it's very helpful to have this up on the side because I just checked people are selling them for like 25. So like getting 33 each is very good. That's why it's very good to somewhat know the general prices of things. And if you see a message, an offer, buy or sell offer pop up, then you gotta take advantage of it like that. You gotta be right on top of it, and that's how you make money while bank standing. This is also my first time bank standing because when we were in free to play, there weren't really any bank standing skills. This is the first bank standing skill I've been able to do. I guess technically like prayer if you buy big bones, but that would be very hard to do in bulk for hours at a time. Fletching is like the first skill that you could realistically do at this point in the game for hours at a time at the bank. I think that adds even more to the market or to the economy because you have more people standing around buying and selling items or completing other people's offers that wander into V West, or in this case to Sears. Oh, we're making the deal right now. This guy has 800k cash at the moment and he's buying them for 650. That's a guy I saw in the marketplace. Oh dude, I'm so excited to get GP. Oh my gosh, look at that, 800k. Got a double check, of course. Oh, that's so much GP. Let's see. No, it's not even 1 mil yet. Oh my gosh, 992k. I'm rich. I still have 600 yew longbows left over. I could buy so many yew logs with this. This person is selling bowstring for 270 each. You know what? I'll do it. I guess I'll be kind of locking myself into doing more fletching. 200k GP for 740 bowstring. Yes. Hey, got the first batch of yew logs to get me by for a little while, 437. Every once in a while, I'm just gonna say buying yew logs, 290 each. But now I have something to do. Instead of standing around here waiting for people, I can stand here fletching instead. Actually, it's dinner time for me, so I'm gonna go chop magic trees. I just realized, you didn't even see because I had nothing to record, but I went to V West and I was spamming buying yew logs there for a good like 10 minutes probably. Ooh, it's empty on World 2, wow. And no one ever traded me, and I come back here and immediately I get a trade. It might be a good idea if you're trying to buy yew logs to go to the different yew tree locations like Catherby or just south of Sears Village in the graveyard place and try to buy them from the people they're chopping. By the way, the reason why I'm not alching the yew longbows is because, well, you saw the price of them. I was able to sell them for 650 each. The price of nature runes, the cheapest I could get them for if I'm lucky would be 250, which if you add the 250, or we just show you right here, 650 for the yew logs plus 250 would be 900 GP. I'd be spending 900 GP at best, but I'd only be getting 768 GP from the high alch, so I'd be losing money. I just realized when I was training fletching before, despite how much I've talked about it, I wasn't using the bankerless booth, but now I'm at the one I'm supposed to be at. I am going to be fletching here at Sears Village rather than training thieving at the same time because I don't have that many logs, and I would buy the unstrung yew longbows, but no one really sells those. I've never seen something like this. Buying imp catcher beads except white, 20 pure essence each. That's so random. I got some offers on the marketplace selling 400 yew longbows right here. There's 264k. It's kind of weird. I have 660 left and I'm selling them for 660 each. There's 435k more GP. And is that, wait, let's see. Oh, that's it. 1 mil cash stack. Oh man, I mean, of course, you know, that is the biggest cash stack I've ever had, 1.3 mil. And what am I gonna do with this? Well, I'll probably buy more fletching supplies. This seems to already be a fletching themed video, so may as well just stick with it and I'll keep on fletching. Although there's not really many offers in the marketplace at this time. It's kind of like the lowest player count of the day, so might have to wait till tomorrow. I was gonna do some fire making instead. Not that it matters because I'm not gonna get level anyways, but yeah. I just found this hat on the ground, and this is one of the many hats that you can buy in the Gnome Stronghold. And I believe this is the new best in slot mage hat since Members has released. Previously, it was the Wizard's hat, which is +2 mage accuracy and +2 mage defense. But this hat, it is +3 mage accuracy and 3 mage defense. Buying 551 U-logs. Back to fletching. Oh, I just got another 5k GP for another lockpick. Maybe I should go pick more of those up. There's +500 bowstring. There's another +830 bowstring. This is great. Like, I have offers up in the marketplace, and sometimes people will just come by here saying selling bowstring, 250 each, and I'll take it. Hey, there's level 74 fletching. Nice, we got +1k U logs. I almost kind of do feel like I have my own GE here. That's kind of crazy timing too, because this was my last inventory of U logs before I was about to start stringing them. But now I have even more to cut. There's so many random little trades that I'm doing, like someone asking to buy 1 U longbow for 1k, so I just do that. I'm not going to show every single trade that I do. Generally, it'll be more of the bulk trades of buying or selling hundreds of an item. Good morning. Welcome to another day of fletching and looking at the silly offers at Sears Bank World 2. Trading bowstring for 25 bronze arrows each. Speaking of silly, I thought of what the goal could be for this video. A silly goal, besides making the 1 mil GP, because I already did that. But what if I made the goal to be fletching my own magic shortbow? So that way I don't have to spend 5k GP, or even 2.5k GP. I could make it myself for the cost of like 1.5k, and I could save like 1k GP if I make it myself. So we'll make the goal to be getting 80 fletching. I'm buying bowstring from this guy for 260 each. There's +500 more. In OSRS, I think you're generally able to slightly profit or at least break even when you're alching, maybe even lose slightly, but you're not like losing or making too much GP. But in 2004, I noticed this with the U longbows yesterday. It was a lot of loss. It was like 150 plus GP loss per alch. I assume it's probably the same for like magic longbows and other items in the game too. You're probably losing GP. And I would think that's because a lot of people want to train up their magic by doing alchs, because the game is still relatively new and a lot of people want to get their magic up for like charge. Yeah, probably for charge. Oh, here we go. Another one. Buying flowers for 30 bowstring each. Flowers and mithril seeds are kind of an interesting item right now because there's no Legends quest in the game. So you get your mithril seeds from doing waterfall quests, but there's no way to get any more beyond that until Legends comes out. Mithril seeds came out September 24th, 2002. Waterfall quest came out September 24th, 2002. So they came out together. I guess they came out when you were able to get them from the quest. But then Legends quest didn't come out until August 03. So for a whole year, mithril seeds were kind of a what do you call it, a rare item. You can only get them once per account. Even on the RuneScape Classic wiki, it does say that you get the 40 mithril seeds from the quest. Also, random fun fact about RuneScape Classic is that the quest rewards aren't static. It's based on your level. Whereas in RuneScape 2 and beyond, you get static XP rewards. Well, I don't want to say beyond, I don't know anything about RS3, but in RuneScape 2, it's static XP rewards. Wait, coals over 200 GP each? I remember in free-to-play, I was happy to get like 140, 150 GP for coal. Oh my gosh, people are buying for 225? How much coal do I have? Because I spent a lot of time in free-to-play in the mining guild. I have 4.6k coal! Okay, for another video, I want to try out the coal trucks, because I never tried them before. Not today, but in a very soon upcoming video. No, I was watching it for so long and I skipped right through it. 75 fletching though. I thought of a good metaphor for training fletching in 04. It's like buying peanut butter and jelly. It's pretty rare that you run out of both at the same time. You'll buy one and then the other. Every once in a while though, when the stars align, you will run out of both together, but usually not. Selling off some of the U longbows, there's 476k. I'll show you my marketplace listing so you can see what I'm buying and selling items for. I'm buying the materials for, it's 540 each, and then selling the bows for 680. Sometimes if someone comes into the world, maybe I'll take an offer for a slightly worse price than what I'm trying to buy the items for. but typically I'll be profiting a bit over 100 GP per U longbow that I make. I did a lot of buying and selling today, and instead of showing every trade saying, I bought 500 U-logs for X amount, I bought 500 bowstrings, I sold 500 longbows, and doing that over and over, I figured I would instead do a voiceover going over some thoughts that I had throughout the day, and just let the clips roll in the background. I do still think it's very important to see these clips though, because seeing how much trading really goes on really highlights how different it is without a GE. Sometimes people come from my market listing and trade me. Sometimes people randomly say they're selling an item and I need that item, so it works out. Other times I'll say in the public chat that I'm buying or selling something, but I'm not able to do it too much in bulk relative to what some other people are doing, at least, because some people are buying like thousands of magic logs at a time. When I started though, I was able to buy like 1.5k bowstrings and 1.5k U-logs at a time. And because I'm profiting, I have slowly worked my way up to being able to afford around 2k of each at a time. But in practice, it never works out that way, or very rarely works out that way. I take whatever offers I can get. Like, I've been at a point where I've had 3k bowstring and 1k logs. But it's been fun. It feels like I'm building up an empire. I'd say I'm in the middle of the road average player in terms of GP, having around 1 to 2 mil to work with. It's like I'm building up to playing bigger and bigger hands at the casino, or in this case, buying more and more in bulk at a time so that I can spend more time focusing on skilling rather than having to constantly worry about when my next trade will be. My margins were getting tighter and tighter though as time went on because I was getting a bit more impatient, but I don't think that's a bad thing in this case because if you want to buy 1k bowstring for 260 instead of 270, you got to consider, is it really worth potentially an extra 10 to 15 minutes to save 10k for an offer that you may not even be able to find? You know, it's worth it to just take the offer of the guy who's standing right next to you selling the item that you need, so that way you can progress faster. By the end, I was making around 50 GP per bow rather than the 100 plus GP per bow that I was shown before, but as long as I'm not losing GP, I'm happy. Another random thought is with how click intensive fletching currently is, I think that turns a lot of people off from training the skill, which probably affects the market dynamics and maybe even makes it more profitable than it would be if we had Make X. And I've got to say, after doing a couple days of fletching where you can only make one at a time, Make X was such a good addition to RuneScape. Besides the obvious factor of not destroying your hand, I think it would make a lot of people more social, because personally it makes me not want to talk in-game as much because every moment I'm typing directly translates to lost time, XP, and GP. And while some purists may say that it led to a slippery slope, I think there is a happy medium in there because we still had the dangerous random events, so people didn't zone out too much from the game. And I think the combination of Make X along with the dangerous random events and player-to-player trading led the game to its social glory days. On a different topic, a lot of people try to give me items in-game for free or GP in-game, which I do really appreciate, but I haven't taken anything and I don't plan to. And I don't feel like I have to prove anything, but I was thinking how showing all the clips does prove that I did all these fair trades to train up my fletching, and that I didn't randomly get given the 500k to 1 mil profit I'll have by the end of the video. And when I was going through that train of thought, it reminded me of a friend, Dovidas. In mid-2014, he made a solo RuneScape account before Iron Man came out, and to prove that he was doing everything himself, in the description of the videos, he would put an unlisted 10-hour video of him doing the grinds that he did in that progress video, which would sometimes be 30 hours of footage sped up, which is absolutely insane that he actually did that. But yeah, I don't want to take any free stuff. I do want to experience the game, building up my bank from scratch. But if someone really wants to help me, the biggest help would be letting me buy skilling items off them that I need for whatever skill I'm training at the time. And, you know, I wouldn't say no to a 10 or 20% discount. There's quite a few people that stand in the bank alching, and there's two kinds of bank alkers. Ones that are there to merch, and others that are there to socialize. But anyways, there's an alker next to me for a while that didn't have too big of a cash stack, but I also didn't have too many finished bows made at the time. So he bought a couple hundred bows for me, he would alch them, then buy a couple hundred more, and this kept going on. He would just buy a couple hundred bows at a time. And I thought that's a really cool symbiotic relationship to show, having an alker and a fletcher who both mutually agree on a fair price, and being able to quickly get a trade with each other as I made my bows and as he ran out of alks. As I've been recording all that voiceover, I was chopping magic trees, and I don't think it was this inventory. Yeah, it was one inventory ago. I hit 2k magic logs. But I am done now and ready to get back into fletching. I have about 1k logs and 1k more bowstring, and my XP to level 80. Well, I'm going to get to level 80 before I finish up my supplies, which means I am done trading for this grind at least. I don't have to put any more offers in the marketplace today. I got everything I need. And when I'm finished making all these bows, I'm not going to sell them. I'm going to save them because there's stuff I want to try out with them in the next video that will involve alching. But that's all I'm going to say for now. Also, while I was recording that voiceover, we got an update from Pizzazz. He says, Legends Quest is finished. It'll be in your hands soon once we've tried our best to break it. During the next downtime, we've got a bunch of bug fixes for you as well. And I've heard of a couple of bugs from a couple different sources. Apparently, Ardougne are supposed to despawn, and there's a bug that when you pickpocket them, it resets the despawn timer. So that should be in the next change. And another bug I've heard from someone is that the bankerless bank booths that I've been talking about that are one click, apparently that's not authentic to 2004, and what would happen in 04 is that if you clicked on the bank booth and one of the bankers to the side would face towards you, there is supposed to be a dialogue that pops up there and it's one of the bankers on the side talking to you. And he goes on to say that after that goes live, we are officially feature complete. Legends Quest is currently the only thing missing from the game. If you look in the quest list, you'll see that Legends Quest is grayed out. Then I can work to share a roadmap and rough timelines for future updates. And reminder, this isn't a business. They don't pull anything. This is to recreate and restore. What the hell is that emote? Okay. We are here to give an inspiring speech about recreating and preserving the lost years of RuneScape. And these are a bunch of volunteers doing this on hobbyist time. All right, let's get back to fletching. I'm going to go AFK right now while I eat dinner and stuff, but instead of doing magic trees like I've been doing for a while, I'm instead going to be going back to fishing. I feel like it's been quite a few videos since I've been doing my fly fishing in Shiloh Village, but I'm going back to that today. I'm currently at 65 fishing, very close to 66. Whenever I first come here and set up to go fishing, I'll trade the shop and see if there's any vials of water in stock. I buy those out first, followed by the bronze bars if there's any in stock, followed by the regular vials. Unfortunately, the vials did not have much stock today. I'm also running very low on feathers. I've only got about 1,200 or 1,300 feathers, and then the fly fishing rod. It's been so long since I've used it that usually the items I use would either be all the way at the top of the bank because I put them there for organization purposes, or they'd be all the way at the bottom because I use them so often that it gets put at the bottom, unless I have multiple of an item, but I don't have multiple fly fishing rods, so you can kind of use this as a way to determine how long, there it is, to determine how long it's been since you've done something, and by seeing how far up my fly fishing rod is, you could tell it's been quite some time. I do want to stock up on feathers a little bit though. The shop is a bit pricier than the Port Sarim shop. I'm pretty sure the Port Sarim shop goes up every 50, whereas this is, I think, every 25 it goes up by 1 GP. But the nice part about this shop is I can buy maybe 150 at a time, go fly fishing, and the next inventory it'll be fully stocked. So there's no time spent either hopping worlds or standing around here waiting for it to restock. I can immediately go fishing. People are currently selling feathers for about 17 to 20 GP each. And even if I buy out 200 of the stock at a time, it's still only 9 GP. It's still about half the price that people are selling for, 12 GP. I wonder how low it can go. It's still not bad compared to what people are selling for. Oh, 12 must be the cap then. That's like the most expensive it'll ever cost from the shop. The downside being that you can only buy 10 at a time, and there's of course the opportunity cost. You're spending time doing basically a money-making method that doesn't get you any XP. Whereas instead I could practically zero time buy feathers from other players and then use the time saved to earn more money. That is the 2025 mindset. Feels good to be back at the river. There is 66 fishing. I'm still here because I'm working on the thumbnail and stuff, and there's level 67. It was a random person in game that told me earlier about the left click bankerless booths being inauthentic, that the bankers are supposed to turn towards you, and I was curious for a source on that. So I went into the development Discord, and oh my god, they have a source for everything. This was the source that they linked. This was from like the day after release of old school RuneScape. So this is from 2007 essentially. And here, watch the mouse. Watch where it left clicks. Right there. See, left click, and then that's crazy. Like there's literally sources for everything just like that. This is it, the final yew longbow. Level 80 Fletching. You can now make magic short bows. I do still have like 1,000 more of each supply here, so I'm going to finish making these bows first. I am done. That is all the yew longbows made. It's close to 1,400. And with that, it is time to make the magic short bow. Grab the knife out. First magic log cut and strung. The best bow I've ever equipped on the account was the oak short bow because that's what was best in free to play, and I haven't done any range since Members has come out. So this will be my first time equipping a bow that's better than oak, going straight from oak to the magic short bow. For a second I thought I wouldn't be able to equip it, but I can. It's only 50 range that you need. Isn't MSB the best bow in the game right now? Because the crystal bow didn't come out until February 2005. Barrows didn't come out for the Carol's bow until May of 2005. Crossbows didn't come out until July of 2006. So I think that's the best bow in the game. And with level 80 Fletching, I can now make as many as I want. And with 2,000 magic logs in the bank, I have an unlimited supply of magic short bows in case I lose them somehow. I have some things written down that I kept meaning to say, but I kept forgetting. So first thing is that when you try to cut a log, they all have the period at the end of them. Something else I noticed, something that seems to be very consistent in 2004, is that they have the space, again, long bow, even though the item is called longbow, or same with the short bow when it's called short bow. This is just a magic bow to a guy like me. Let's take a look at the high scores. Another thing I neglected to point out in this video is when I hit 1,200 total level. That was a milestone that I should have mentioned, but I'm now 1,208 total, rank 35. The main thing I did in this video is fletching. Well, I haven't logged out yet, but I guess I'm 1,209 total actually, but yeah, I haven't logged out yet. My fletching rank is 76, or slightly better than that once I log off. I'm ending off this video with a 1.3 mil cash stack and about 1,400 yew longs, which would equate to around 950k GP, which basically means I have over a 2 mil cash stack. Not only did I become a millionaire for the first time this video, I also became a multi-millionaire, kind of. I mean, I know it's not GP, but this is extremely liquid. You could very easily sell these or alch these for GP. Thank you very much for watching the video and for following along the journey so far. I really appreciate it. Thank you for still being here 15 videos in. And with all that said, thank you again for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you have a great day, and I hope to see you again next time with more adventures in 2004.